everybody. Happy Friday. Lots of people in the chat. Welcome to the class. If you're new to the class, I am Shaun. I'm going to be your teacher for the next hour or so. Where's my mic? My mic. Here we go. My goodness. Yeah, wow. I need more coffee. I need more coffee, obviously. Yeah. I know it was poor sound, but now it should be good. Yeah, it's better. The sound is better now that I have the microphone close to my face and not on the floor. Yeah? Okay. Hey, everybody. Now the voice is clear. Cool. Yeah, microphones are very useful when they are close to your mouth, I guess. Busher's drinking a banana milkshake. I'm jealous. It's a little bit, I think it's a little, well, I was going to say it's too early for a banana milkshake for me, but sounds delicious. Lots of people in the chat. Lots of the regulars are here. Rosa, Diari is here. Who else is here? Victor's back. Jundi. And of course, Omar Al-Ghamdi is in the house. Good to see you. If anybody has a question about being a student at this college, Canadian College of English Language, you can ask Omar. He's a former student of ours here in Vancouver. So I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm Shaun. My microphone is on, and I am coming to you live from Vancouver, from the Canadian College of English Language in Vancouver. Yeah, you guys thought your YouTube wasn't working? No, it was my brain. My brain was not functioning properly. What kind of coffee is this? This is Tim Hortons. A little plug for Tim Hortons. A little commercial. Very Canadian. Always fresh. Live from Radio City. Looks like there's lots of people here. Lots of new people, I think. And Marianne's back. Hey, Marianne. Also a former student. Dean DeMarco is in the house. Good to see ya. I'm the Highlander. That's right. Vivek, you are 2 minutes late, but you haven't missed anything yet. All right. So let's get started. If you're new to the class, identify yourself. You can say that you like my rhyme. Yeah, I know. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. Right? And beer would be better than coffee. Well, it's only 9 o'clock in the morning here for me, so again, a little bit too early for that. Okay, but let me jump in here. So if you're new throughout the class, if you have questions, put your questions in the chat, and I will try to answer them as quickly and as clearly as I can. Okay? If I miss something, just put it back in there. If it's not a question that's connected to today's lesson, I might not get to it. Okay? But if I don't answer your question, you can always put it in our in the Facebook group. Okay? And we can try to answer that as well. Okay, so Kavita is hitting hello. Hello. Princess Zelda is new. Welcome. All right, now some people are saying what time it is where you are, and that's a good place to start. A little thing to mention before we get into the class, and if you're watching this as a video later on in the future, this will not affect you, but this weekend in Canada and some parts of the world, Europe, I believe, does this daylight savings time, right? So our time is going to change a little bit this weekend. It's this crazy little thing. Here, let me go into this screen here. Okay, and actually, let me get rid of, I'll come back to him, all right? This weekend is daylight savings time. And that means, why are you doing that to me? And that means that the time will change. Why are you doing that? Okay, so right now it is 9 o'clock. But this weekend, the clocks will go ahead 1 hour. So 9 o'clock becomes 10 o'clock. Okay? So that means if your country does not have daylight savings time, if your clock does not change, I think this class will be 1 hour earlier for you next week. Jerry, there you go. That's for you. Okay. So right, because 9 becomes 10, right? So that means 8 o'clock becomes 9 o'clock. So my 9 o'clock, for some of you, will be 1 hour earlier. All right? I know some of you are very happy. Yay! And it is this weekend, Slaneys, yeah. So next weekend, or next week, the clocks will be different. Okay? So I don't know if you guys do daylight savings time. I think in Europe, you do daylight savings time, I think. If Marianne is there, she can confirm that, or French Leo or somebody. Princess Zelda, you're in Ohio, so I mean you guys do daylight savings, so I think your time will be the same. Jerry is so happy. Yeah, right. Right, so for Painkiller, wherever you are, if you're changing your clock, the time will be the same for you. It'll be the same time. Oh wow, now it gets complicated because Mexico does daylight savings time in April, right? So that's complicated. But that's fine. Just keep an eye on the Facebook page, and we'll make it clear to you guys when the classes are starting. We'll put it in Greenwich Mean Time, so you can follow it. So Rolfie is asking if I'm going to be talking about verbs and gerunds and verb and infinitives. Well, kind of. Okay. Well, let's get this class started here. Okay. Let's forget about the time for now. Let's just relax. Vivek, you're afraid of this? The time change or the lesson? Fetty, no time change for you. Cool. Okay. Seajoy. How do I don't know how to say your name. Seajoy? You're a regular watcher? Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. All right, so today we're going to be talking about patterns. Now, as I've said before, as you know, language is not math, right? Language is not mathematics. Language is not science. It's not always going to follow a specific rule, right? There are lots of exceptions in language. We talk about how crazy language is, right? How crazy language is. So many exceptions to the rules, right? We're breaking rules all the time. We're changing rules all the time. No time change in Russia? Roberto from Puerto Rico. Cool, welcome. All right, so language is not science or math. I'm Captain Obvious speaking here, right? However, in language, there are sometimes formulas and patterns to follow, right? It's not just crazy and chaos, right? There are rules, there is structure, and there are patterns that you can learn when you're talking about the structure and the order of a sentence that can help you make good, correct sentences. Okay? Ahmed, I don't know what you mean. Unfortunately what? It looks like an illusion? Yeah. Right. So today I want to talk about verb patterns. I want to continue talking about verb patterns because whether you knew it or not, Victor, are you asking me if I'm learning Russian? No, not right now. I learned a little bit of Russian a few years ago because I traveled there. Interesting question. I want to know why you asked me that question. I can read a little bit of Russian, but that's about it. Okay. So verb patterns languages are crazy, but there are patterns to learn, and we have talked about patterns already. We're in Unit 6 in 120, okay? And what was I going to say? Unit 6, yeah, right. So we've been talking about infinitives. We've been talking about gerunds. And we're going to kind of continue with that and finish up with Unit 6 on verb patterns. I remember what I was going to say. How many languages do I know? Oh, fluently, 1, English. Yeah, I've forgotten more languages than most people have learned, I think. So just a reminder for everyone that this is an intermediate level class. So mid-level, not advanced, not beginner, right in the middle. But everyone is welcome to attend, okay? And you're welcome to ask questions. For some of you, this might be new. For some of you, it might be review. Ahmed is a fan of math, maybe. Yeah? Princess Zelda homeschooler? Cool. Very cool. Hey, Steve Lynn's here. Good to see you. Okay, so let's really quickly review some of the verb patterns that we have been talking about in Unit 6, even if you did not realize that we were talking about verb patterns. Victor, it's true. I do get excited to read something in Russian. Yeah. All right, so we've already talked about verbs followed by gerunds, right? A few weeks ago, we talked about all of these verbs that are commonly followed by the gerund, ing. If you don't know what we're talking about, you can go back and watch that lesson from probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, okay? For example, the man denied stealing the money from her purse. Pretty hard to deny stealing it. He's got his hand in the purse. So you think I look like Spider-Man? Yeah, no, I'll accept that. I'll take that. Okay, so maybe Spider-Man before he gets the spider powers. I look like pre-Spider-Man Peter Parker, maybe. Yeah. So this is one pattern, right? Verb, gerund. Okay. We've also talked about verbs followed by infinitives, that to infinitive. Okay. These words, and again, we did a whole lesson on this. These are words that are followed by infinitives, right? These verbs. Okay, so here's our unhappy couple. Am I interested in learning Hindi? Sure, I would be interested in learning any language. All right, so he failed to understand. So the word fail, the verb, that pattern is verb plus infinitive. Fail to understand why she was so upset. A common failure on the part of men. No, I don't know Urdu either. I'll tell you what, I studied French growing up. I come from the eastern part of Canada, Atlantic Canada, so I studied French. So I have French back here somewhere, and it comes out of me every once in a while. I've studied a little bit of Italian. I took a year of German in university, studied some Russian, learned how to read in Greek. But as I said, a lot of that stuff is gone, or it's hidden back here. It's dormant, sleeping in a dark corner of my brain. Marianne is saying I always put arguing couples. Honestly, Marianne, you've been gone too long, because the last few weeks it's been nothing but love. It's been love. But now I've gone back to this. Yeah? But don't worry about me. I'm okay. So he failed to understand why she was so upset. That's your verb plus infinitive. Now, 2 weeks ago, we talked about verbs followed by gerunds or infinitives with the same meaning. Right? So these verbs, begin, continue, like, love, these are words that can be followed by both. And again, there's a whole lesson on this, so I'm not going to spend much time on this today. This is just a quick a quick review, yeah, to show you everything that we've already discussed in Unit 6. All right. When Shaun's class ended, she started to cry. All right. Ezra, who are you telling to be quiet? You telling me to be quiet? Yeah. So when Shaun's class ended, she started to cry, or she started crying. It's the same. She's sad either way. Okay. Yeah. Don't be sad. There's always next week. All right. And then, of course, we talked about verbs followed by gerunds and infinitives with a different meaning, right? With a different meaning, like these. So we talked all about how when you use stop with infinitive, it's a different meaning than stop with the gerund. Stevelyn started to cry too. Me too. After every class, I begin to cry. Okay? So sugar, true story, I am trying to eat less sugar. I'm trying to cut back on my sugar intake, although that looks like some delicious candy there. Yeah? Okay, so trying to eat less. Try with infinitive, we talked about how that means you're making an attempt to do something, usually unsuccessfully, right? Natasha's been crying and screaming for the last 2 months. But in this case, I tried eating snake on a trip last year. This is not true, actually. I have never tried eating snake. If anyone has eaten snake in the chat, let me know and tell me if I should try it. So we talked about how try and eating, that changes the meaning, right? That makes it more of a new experience or an experiment. Okay. Try to climb Mount Everest? Sure. Princess Zelda's mom has eaten shark. Yeah, sure. Well, shark could be delicious. Snake tastes like feet. What kind of feet, though? Chicken feet? Vivek has tried chicken. Well, you're very, very brave, Vivek. 2 people have said that snake tastes like feet. That's interesting. Yeah? That's strange. That's fine. Okay, so that's what we've covered already. Today, I want to talk about verb patterns with objects. Yeah, I love chicken too. Sharks are delicious. Okay. So objects. This is what I want to focus on today, guys. Verb plus object plus infinitive. Okay? So for example, this guy, he begged her to forgive him, right? So in this sentence, you've got your verb followed by the direct object, the receiver of the verb, right? He begged her, and then the infinitive. Okay, so let's start here. You guys are bananas. I guess, but I don't know, does snake taste like banana? Yes, it's very romantic. Yeah, I don't know if she's feeling very romantic right now. Omar's an optimist. So this is the structure. Let's look at some possible verbs. Now, verbs that follow this pattern are often, this is not all of the verbs, but I wanted to just start with a few, right? Advise, invite, remind, allow, order, tell. And then I threw in a few more: convince, encourage, and warn with not, right? So what you'll notice about these verbs is they can really kind of be considered report verbs. Any verb that is giving information or permission or an order, right? These report verbs are often followed by the object and the infinitive. So let's look at a couple examples here, and then I'm going to make you guys do some work. I feel like I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit. I've got a little bit of a cold here. I'll just keep drinking my coffee. Okay, so my father advised me to travel for a year before starting university. Excellent advice, I think. Right? So you've got the verb, again, verb, object, infinitive. Okay? With advised. They look like they're having a good time. However, could you tell your friends to be quiet, please? Movie talkers. The worst. The worst. Right? Man, I keep getting distracted. You guys are way more interesting in the chat than I am. All right? So could you tell your friends to be quiet? There you've got verb, object, infinitive. Okay? Selma, good. That's a really good example. Really good example. Okay, one more. I reminded him to call Trey before we left. I don't know if Trey Brown's in the house. This is a little shout out to you. I put you in the sentence, yeah? Maybe other people will see themselves in example sentences in the future. Okay. So again, verb, object, infinitive, all having to do with these reporting verbs. Right? So, one other thing to mention, that two of the verbs on my list, allow and advise, can be followed by this pattern, or they can be followed by the gerunds. Right? So you've got choices. You've got choices there. Okay, so let me show you an example. This guy again, this teacher, this spring chicken, our teacher allows eating in the classroom. Yeah, I don't think he really cares if you're eating in the classroom, right? He's just into his math here, right? So he allows eating. You can change that and say, our teacher allows us to eat in the classroom. It's the same thing, okay? So either one is possible. Allows eating or allows us to eat, but not allows us eating. That doesn't work. Yeah, I've got a cold all the time. Victor, I did. I called him a spring chicken. Yeah. Ironically, yeah. But yes, I've got a cold I've got 3 kids, so I've got just a cold. It's just a constant cycle in my household of colds and sickness. Yeah. All right. So before I get into that, let me go into my notes for a second, because one thing I did mention is warn. Whoops.
Exiting narrator.
I don't know what happened there. So we said the word warn is oftentimes used with not. Selene's question is us plus verb ing. No, you can't. Yeah, you can't say that. So he advised, or wait, he allows us eating. Can't. No. A spring chicken is just a young chicken. It's just an expression. Don't worry about that too much. All right. So what I was going to say is warn, right? He warned us not to miss the class, for example. Okay. Now you'll notice that in this sentence you've got the verb, and then you've got the object. Let me make that all colorful. And there you've got the negative, right? You warn someone not. I don't know. With the X, the Spanish X, Hiomara? How do I pronounce your name? Being and being. Now, I'm not going to answer that question right now because it's really not connected to this lesson. But put that question in Facebook and we'll answer that. That's a good question. Yeah, right. He allows us eating is incorrect. Now, you can't say he warned no missing. Now, in this sentence, warn really can't be followed by the gerund like that. Omar wants to know how Jeff is doing. He's doing well. Vivek, I allowed her to abuse me. It's dark, man. That's dark. Akram MD coming in with a question. Shaun, we say miss the class or missed out the class? No, I'd say you missed the class. Yeah. What you're talking about, just a side note, is miss out on something. If you're missing an opportunity, right, you miss out on something. Dogan, that's a good question too. She asked us not to miss, then that's fine too. And we talked about that a couple weeks ago with that negative infinitive. He asked us not to miss the class. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, so how about this, gang? Let me make you guys do some work. All right? I'm going to go full screen here and make this nice and big so everybody can see it. And I want you to do some practice for me with this verb pattern with the objects, right? Verb, object, infinitive. So you are kind of reporting what happened, what these people said. Okay, Jerry, are you talking to me? Leo, it is an answer to my question. Okay, no, you're talking to Leo. Okay. So in the first sentence, it says, John and Phil said, do you want to check out a movie with us tonight, Dave? So how can we rewrite that sentence? How can we report it, right, with this verb pattern? We can say, let's get lazy. We can say they. What verb would you use here? I would say they invited Dave to check out a movie with them, right? You don't even really need that. You could say tonight as well. They invited Dave to check out a movie. You were talking to me, Jerry? Okay, I missed your question. Okay, now again, yeah, wanted me. Now, I would say, I think in each sentence I've put the name there, just so you know who people are talking to. Okay, so I want you to try to rewrite these sentences. Actually, let me put a name in there. How about this? Shaun. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I'd like you guys to do. I want you to take those other 4 sentences and rewrite them with this verb, object, infinitive structure. Okay? Pay very close attention to the punctuation in some of these sentences. Okay? I'm going to disappear from the screen. Maybe I'll answer some questions in the chat, and I'll put the monkey music back on. Okay? Get to work, guys. Okay, guys, good stuff. Lots of answers coming in. And let's go through some of them. I've noticed, you know what? Letter D is a bit of a problem. We're going to have to change that a little bit because it doesn't really give you the sentence that I was hoping for. Okay, but we'll go through it together. Wow, so many answers to go through here. So some of you guys are really nice. You're very polite because Wendy says, Claire, eat your vegetables. And I put an exclamation point here, and I even kind of highlighted it for everybody to see. So a lot of you guys said, what did you say? Jindy said, Wendy asked Claire to eat her vegetables, right? Vegetables. There you go. So Wendy asked Claire to eat her vegetables. This is a perfectly grammatical sentence, really good. And Rosa got even nicer, I think. What did you say? Well, I'll put that in here. And you said Wendy encouraged Claire to eat her vegetables, and that's really nice, right? So a lot of you, I mean, Jindy got it. Yeah, Victor said asked as well. Bushra, good. What else? Who else? Baikal Chelik. Wendy asked Claire. Now these are really good. Now I would say, maybe because I'm a father and I've been at the dinner table with the kids, if I'm putting that there, I'm probably not asking the kid to eat the vegetables, am I? Right? And I think, Vivek, you picked up on it. Good for you. And some other people too. Marcelo, very good. And French Leo as well. These are all good sentences, but I would probably say Wendy ordered Claire to eat her vegetables. You eat your vegetables, right? Big finger coming right at you. You eat your vegetables. That's my wagging father finger, right? Okay, so all good sentences, but I think ordered is probably the best answer there. Good. Okay, now let's look at C. Chris says, don't forget your bag, Jane. And lots of answers came in. Marcelo, yeah, good. Marianne, I think you had the same answers as he did. Let me go up here for a second. Chris, so Heiter. Yeah, you guys all basically said the same thing. A lot of you did. Said Chris reminded, Jane. You said not to forget her bag. And that's good. That's fine. Yeah, lots of you guys said that. Who else got that one? I want to give everybody a little shout out here. Where else is Chris? Chris. Yeah, Zainab, good. Victor, good. Now, Estrella said Chris warned Jane not to forget her bag. Yeah, maybe. Now, I would say another possible answer would be, and again, let me just put these together so you can see it. I might say Chris reminded Jane to bring or take or get or pick up her bag, right? As you're leaving, don't forget your bag. I'm reminding you to bring the bag, to get the bag, right? But both, I think, are perfectly fine. Okay? I poked you right in the eye. Seajoy K, Jose, I don't know exactly how to say your name, but you're saying what type of sentence is that? Tell me what letter you're talking about, and I would be happy to answer that question. Fetty said advise. If you're talking about here, Wendy advised Claire to eat the vegetables. I think that's too strong to be advice. Don't forget your bag. If you mean Chris advised Jane not to forget her bag. I don't know if that's advice. It's just kind of a quick reminder. Yeah, see, now the problem with D, and this is my fault, guys. I think I kind of messed up this one a little bit. Let me go back a little bit. So I'll change the color. Yeah, so I kind of put the wrong sentence here, I think, because this is not going to get you the sentence pattern that I was looking for, because most of you said this. Stacy asked Mr. James if she could drink coffee in his class. And you wrote that, and that's perfectly fine. That's absolutely correct, because really the verb pattern that we're talking about today doesn't really work here, and that's my fault. Okay, for you to say Stacy asked Mr. James to drink a coffee in class, that would be weird. So let's fix it. Okay, let's say this. Mr. James says, yes, you can. Okay, so I forgot to add that little part to it. Now, Adriana, yeah, you're saying Stacy asked him to drink coffee in his class, but the problem with that is that kind of changes who is drinking the coffee. Is Stacy drinking the coffee, or is Mr. James drinking the coffee? And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, right? So we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, and that's why I'm saying that this is wrong. And yeah, these are simple sentences, if that's what your question was. Yeah, except for this one. This is complex. Okay, so let's take this one out and say Mr. James said, yes, you can. So in this sentence, I would say Mr. James allowed Stacy to drink coffee in his class, right? And there, Shindy came right after me. Good, perfect. Bushra too, yeah. Mr. James allows, put that S on there, allows her to drink coffee. Okay. Yeah, right. Rosa Casiero said, Stacy asked permission to drink. Yeah. Or asked for permission to drink. Milena, good one. Good one. Very, very good. Okay, so let's look at this last one with Shaun. All right, the advice from the doctor to me. I'll make this big so everybody can see it, okay? The doctor says to Shaun, if I were you, I would get lots of rest and eat healthier. Okay. Yeah, good. Omar nailed it. Good for you. Good. Who else? Let me see. Where's the doctor? Doctor. Let me find somebody else. Angel Kim. Doctor recommended Shaun to get lots of rest. Recommended, yeah. Okay. Somebody said it, reminded. Recommended. Steve Lynn saying advised. French Leo says I advised. You're the doctor now? Okay. So the doctor, as Omar said, the doctor advised Shaun. Also, one thing, French Leo, watch out there, because you had the C, but remember that C is the noun, right? You want the S or the Z if you're American, right? Okay. I would put the S there, though. The doctor advised Shaun to get lots of rest. I could use some rest, obviously. And eat healthy or healthier food. The doctor advised Shaun to get lots of rest. Good. Good. Smrt check. The doctor advised Shaun to get lots of rest. Perfect. Good, good, good. The doctor suggested, suggested to Shaun. I think suggested is more common, guys, with a that clause, right? The doctor suggested that Shaun get lots of rest. I think that would be good. Adriana, do I rest enough? Yeah, I think don't worry about me. I go to bed early. Yeah. I think I sleep about as much as anybody with young children sleeps. Yeah. I think I'm pretty healthy, I think. Nitesh, prescribed is a little bit unnatural. Okay, guys, so let's go back in here. Let's go back into the presentation, because I also want to talk about verbs that are followed by infinitives with an object or without an object. Some verbs, like these guys, ask, want, need, expect, and would like, they can be followed by the object plus an infinitive or just the infinitive, right? Either one. I'm drinking coffee, Rehan. Not so much of a tea guy. Tea is okay every once in a while, but yeah, it's not my favorite. So these verbs can be followed with an object or without an object, but sometimes you're going to change the meaning. And this is what I talked about with the whole Stacy thing, about asking to drink or asking the teacher to drink. It's kind of awkward. Now, Asala is saying, can we say the doctor demanded or ordered, maybe? The doctor ordered Shaun to get more exercise or get more rest. This is indirect, Feti, reported. Yeah? Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. Angela asked to leave. Angela asked Simon to leave. Now, both of these sentences are fine, right? They're fine. One of them has the object, one of them doesn't, but the meaning is very different, right? So putting the object will change the sentence completely. Hiva Angel, that's my little coffee there? Thank you for that. Tea is not my cup of tea. Yeah, nice one. Okay, so in this case here, Angela asked to leave. She asked to leave, so what did she say? She said, can I leave? This one says, anybody have any questions? Yeah, I have a question. Can I leave now? Right? So she asked if she could leave. However, in the second, right, so leave, Angela is leaving, right? In the second sentence, in this guy again, this poor guy again, or as Omar said, this romantic fella, Angela asked Simon to leave. Very different, right? Angela said, Simon, I don't want to talk to you. Please leave. So Simon is leaving, right? Now the cool thing about this too, and when I was writing these sentences out, I realized just how many of these verb patterns we use without thinking about them, okay? They'll be fine, don't worry. This just, yeah. She'll calm down after a couple hours. He'll come back, yeah. Poor Simon, how do you know? You don't know what Simon, maybe he did something terrible. Maybe poor Angela. Okay. Maybe poor both of them, I guess, yeah? All right, so look at this sentence. I have another verb pattern right there. She says, I don't want to talk to you, right? Please leave. So again, in this case, Simon is leaving. She doesn't want to talk. And you can even take this sentence and turn that into a verb pattern and say, I want you to leave. I don't want to talk, I want you to leave. Yeah? You guys are crazy. Crazy, crazy. Poor Angela. Exactly. Yeah, maybe Dean, that could be the case. I'm not sure. Maybe he forgot the anniversary or something, maybe. Yeah? Okay. So verb patterns are everywhere, yeah? But just make sure that you know putting the object in there very much will change the meaning of the sentence, right? One more example. We expect to be home before 12 o'clock. We expect you to be home before 12 o'clock, right? Love is difficult? I don't know. Relationships are difficult, maybe. Love is pretty simple. Okay. So we expect to be home before 12 o'clock. That is something that a teenager or a kid will tell their parents. Okay, bye, mom and dad. Me and my friends are going out. We expect to be home before 12 o'clock, meaning we will be home. We will be home, right? Down here, we expect you to be home before 12 o'clock. All right? This is what the parent says to the child. The father says, your mother and I expect you to be home before 12 o'clock. Right? Very different sentences, very different meaning. All right, so let me get rid of this crazy red thing here. But these differences are very important to understand. Oh, I see. So, okay. I'm not going to the mistake of the week yet. Let me copy that. Go over here. Okay. French Leo has a question. He's saying, whoa, that's big. There. He's saying, we expect you to be at home. Like that? That's okay. We expect you to be at home before 12 o'clock. It's okay, but you don't need it. Right? Remember, I mean, sometimes we say things like, I'm going home, right? So we say, I'm going home, right? Not I'm going to home. Or, honey, I'm I'm home. Right? When you come in the door after a hard day's work, right? Like all of you do. Honey, I'm home. You don't need that preposition. Where are you? Oh, I'm home. Yeah. Okay? But it's fine to say, I'm at home. Okay? Hope that answers your question. Now, for you guys, a little bit more work. All right? I want you to finish these sentences. All right? So, I've given you 5 sentences. Honey, I am at home. Vivek, yeah, if you say, honey, I'm at home, it sounds like maybe you're talking to honey on the phone. She's not home, but you are. She says, where are you? I'm at home. Yeah, I'll make them bigger for sure, Omar. Well, it's about as big as I can make them. Okay, well, let's do the first one together, and then I'll scroll up like this. Okay, so Julian wanted to know if Jack could assist him with the task. So your job is to say this. Julian asked Jack to assist him with the task. Okay, and I'll make that like that. Comme ça. Okay? So that you've got the verb, object, and then the infinitive here. Now in some cases you might not need the object, in some cases you will need the object. Okay? Zainab is saying, I'm going home without at. Yeah, you're never going to say, I'm going to home or I'm going at home. Okay? So let me make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. Okay? That's about as big as I can make it for all of it to fit on the screen. Actually, even F isn't quite going to fit on the screen. So let's do the first 4, and then I'll scroll up in a minute. So rewrite these sentences with this verb pattern. I'll give you a couple minutes to do it, 2 minutes, and then I'll come back and go over it with you guys, okay? All right. So get to work. I'm going to sip my coffee and watch you guys sweat, all right? Go for it. Okay, guys, good stuff. Let's go over it together because we are running low on time. We got to get to that mistake of the week, or people will never forgive me, right? And I want you to be happy. Okay. So B, Stephanie. Stephanie was surprised to see that it was raining when she left work. Stephanie didn't expect. Okay, Milena says Stephanie didn't expect to see the rain. To see? She didn't expect to see the rain. Okay, that's fine to say that. That's good. What else could you say? Now that's one possible answer. Did anyone put an object? Good. Princess Zelda, you got it. Good for you. Like how you said the to see, that's good. Didn't expect the rain. Steve Lynn just went straight object, right? Stephanie didn't expect the rain, and that's fine. Yeah. Victor says Stephanie didn't expect it to rain, right? She didn't expect it to rain. Or you could also say, and anybody else have this one here? I think somebody got it. Did anybody go continuous? Yeah, Jindy got it. Good. Now, another possibility, and Asala Mazin, you're close. You said she didn't expect it was raining, but you could say to be raining. She didn't expect, Stephanie didn't expect it to be raining. You can go continuous with these. Let me make that nice and big so everybody can see it. Okay, so lots of different options here. All of those answers are correct. Really good. Hiva Angel, you can't see the words. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know, refresh your page maybe, or I'm not too sure because I think it's pretty clear on my end. Okay? So what about C? I think you should come with me. I think you should come with me. All right, who's got C? Rosa Casiero got it. Good for you. Who else has C? C. I think Marcelo, I think you had it there, yeah? Diara, you got it. Slanays, absolutely. So I would like you to come with me, right? Oops, sorry for coughing right on you guys, okay? I would like you to come with me. Perfect. What about D? I'm depending on my parents to pay for my university. A common situation, I would say. Who's got D? D. Steve Lynn, I need my parents to pay. Yeah. I need my parents to pay for my university. Of course you do. All right, and a couple other people got that too. Let me give a shout out to, yeah, Jindy, you got it. So many answers, it's hard to get through them all. Now, the funny one is, and oh, Milena, you got it too. Good for you. Okay. Now, Omar is here today in the chat. And it's such a weird coincidence that I've got a sentence about Jeff and Omar here, right? Because Omar was just asking about Jeff in the chat. What a coincidence. And Omar, when you asked if we missed you here at CCEL, I was going to say, yes, we do, especially Jeff. He cries at least twice a week. All right, so Jeff asked Omar if he wanted to go and see the game. Jeff invited Omar, and lots of you guys have it. I'm going to put the answer up here. Jeff invited Omar to see the game with him. Okay? Jeff invited Omar to see the game. Abdurrahman, you're saying, can we say pay off university? Pay off the university? Maybe. Usually with pay off, it's for like a loan, right? So if you say, I need my parents to pay off my university loans, that would be good. That would be good. Okay, so the last one, F, I told you that you had to study. Asala, that's a good one, yeah. With that tag question on there, didn't I? Oh, put that up there. I told you to study. And Asala even added this one, didn't I? Just to rub it in, right? I told you to study, didn't I? So that's good. Just to be extra smug there. That's good. So I told you to study. Perfect. All right. Good work, guys. Okay. Education's free. Lucky you. Yeah. All right, gang. So that's good. Anybody who's in the class, All right, in my class here. Let me jump over here. I'm going to tell you what your homework is. Then we'll do the mistake of the week. But the homework, whoop. There we go. Going into Smrt. Here's my class. Going into Unit 6. And this is what we were doing today in class, guys. Verb patterns number 3, 6-3 in grammar. This is everything that we've talked about with or without objects. And homework will be, okay, one more time on that. Homework is this exercise, which is more of the same. So much practice, a good 13 pages of practice for you guys to go through this week, okay? So everybody else, don't run away yet because, of course, it's everybody's favorite time. It is time for the mistake of the week. All right, mistake of the week. So if anyone is new to the class, if you've never seen this class before, here's the deal. I'm going to put a sentence on the screen, and I want you to find me the mistake. Okay? Marianne, you're out of here? Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, no, but don't tell her to stay because that's less competition for you guys, right? Marianne's pretty fast. Okay, so can you spot the mistake in this sentence? French Leo's ready? You guys ready for this? All right. I'm going to disappear here. Find me the mistake and put it in the chat. Whoever is the first is the most super duper student on the planet Earth. Okay, so let me put it up here. There we go. Find me the mistake, guys. All right, that was fast. Good stuff. Nice work. And I think we have a new champion today, right? I think somebody, who was the first to get it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Yasmina Ali is the fastest draw on the planet. All right, so the sentence here is, it was very nice of your dad to let us to borrow the car for the weekend. For some of you, an obvious mistake, but this is a very common mistake. And Yasmina, you were the first to find it, followed by Rosa Diari? No, okay, you got tripped up by You're there, and Omar came in there. Third place, Rosa Zainab. Some fast fingers out there. Okay, so the problem with this sentence is, where is it? There we go, 2. With the verb let, the pattern is not the to infinitive. You don't say let us to borrow. You can say allow us to borrow. Allow us to borrow. But with let, you get that, take that to out of there. And just go with base form. Let us borrow. Let me go. Let me live my life in peace. Yeah, okay, so Engel Kim is saying that let is the mistake. So I guess you could argue that either to is the mistake, or you could say that let is the mistake and change that verb to allow, right? Your dad to allow us to borrow the car. Let me alone. Yeah, leave me alone. This is a mistake of the strong. Yeah, exactly. Good stuff, guys. Yeah, let it be, let it go. Let it go. No, yeah, you guys can start singing now, I guess, right? Because I'm not going to. No, that costs extra. Okay, guys, so that's it. This, I think, yeah, the hour is up. A little bit over an hour. Let me pop out of the screen here. Let me go back to the green screen. And yeah, that's a common mistake. Just be aware of your verb patterns to avoid that mistake, okay? Interesting. So Adriana, you're saying, why does the mistake have nothing to do with the content we study? But it does, actually. So let me just pop back in there real quickly. Yeah? Okay, whoops. Now let me show you. So this is about the content we study because this is a verb pattern, right? Let is a verb followed by, and let me make it red here. Let is your verb. Us is the object. And then it's followed by the infinitive verb here. But the pattern after let is know to, right? So this is very much connected to what we studied today. Sometimes it isn't, actually. Oftentimes I put the mistake of the week up there that's not connected because I want to trick you. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So let me hop out here again. Okay, so as always, guys, as usual, very much a pleasure for me to come in and teach you guys. I look forward to it every Friday. It's a great way to end my week. Okay, and I appreciate you guys coming and participating. Yeah, keep coming back. Donna, it's your first time with me. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you keep coming back. Okay. Omar, really good to see you. I hope to see you again. And but I'll tell Jeff that you say hello, even if you don't. Okay. And yes, so many conflict of schedule and time. Yeah, it's tough, but you can always watch these classes. If you can't make the class live, you can always watch the videos later in the playlist. Okay. So keep telling your friends, tell your grandma, tell your cousin. Get everybody in here. Let's get hundreds and hundreds of people in here. Why not? Okay. Keep putting your questions on Facebook. I'll try to answer them as often as I can. I should bring Jeff into the stream. I think I should. I think he'd be great. Yeah. Well, some people are popping up who I haven't noticed in here yet today. Cool. Lots of people in there. Keep studying your English. Keep making mistakes. Keep learning from your mistakes. Keep using those verb patterns, paying very close attention to the patterns we use. Keep an eye on the time, because as I said, next week, the class for some of you will be 1 hour earlier, because my 9 o'clock will become 8 o'clock for you. That's confusing. Don't worry about that. Just find us, okay? And have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smrt Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.